Well, good morning and happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to Carey Stadium for the final game of the 2021 Ocean City High School football season. The Raiders with an 11-1 record, trying to become the first Ocean City team to ever win 12 games in a season. There's not only been a handful in the entire Cape Atlantic League. Holy Spirit did it once. Cedar Creek has done it this year. They'll have a chance to get number 13 next weekend. But Ocean City has never done it, and they've got a chance to do it here. As you see the captains coming out to the center, it's a very cool day, but a clear day and a good day for Thanksgiving football.
Yeah, Tom, it kind of brings back memories of when all the games were played at 10 o'clock in the morning, all those Saturdays, not Thursdays. But, it's a bright, sunny day here in Ocean City, and I think we're going to get a real nice crowd for Thanksgiving morning, and hopefully both teams will prove themselves worthy of the competition, and everybody goes home happy.
Well, right now we got those two guys over there on the Pleasantville side at the top of the bleachers talking to each other as their crowd hasn't arrived yet. Ocean City, on the other hand, has a decent crowd here on the, the south side of Carey Stadium. So Ocean City, as we said, comes in 11-1, hoping to be 12-1 at the end of the day. Ocean City won the toss, as they have done in 11 of the 12 games now, and they have deferred. We want to congratulate, too, the Ocean City players who were selected to the first team in the Independence Division, or was it Continental Division, whatever the division is in the West Jersey Football League. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Here's the national anthem. Those All-Stars in the Independence Division of the West Jersey Football League. On offense, C.J. Conti, Zach Mazzatelli, Sean Mazzatelli, Riley Gunnels, Jack Hogue, and Brendan McGonigal. And on the defensive side, Mike Gray, Taylor Eggett, Tom Shutta, Charlie Casaboon, and Nasir Kelly. And Jacob Wilson was the second-team offensive selection. Of course, probably would have joined all of them on the first team if he'd have had a full season. But a good season, and reflected by the All-Star selections in the Independence Division of the West Jersey Football League.
Yeah, Tom, and there's probably an argument to be made for a couple other guys to get on there, but they're certainly well represented are the Raiders, and rightfully so. I mean, they've had a great season so far, and hope to cap it off today with win number 11, as you mentioned. Although, back in the day, those teams weren't playing 10, 11, 12 games, so there's a little bit of a difference. But, we evolve as we evolve, so to speak.
Brendan McGonigal, the greatest kicking scorer in kicking points in Cape Atlantic League history about the kickoff. This is another thing he does well. People talk about his points. We talk about it a lot, but his kickoffs and his punts have been big factors in this season too. And here's one that's going toward the goal line. It's going to come down at the 1 and looking for room. Well, he came to a full stop and threw a couple of moves like he was going to drive to the basket, but ended up stopped at around the 15-yard line. The key to this Pleasantville team is Samir Miller, the 6-foot, 172-pound junior quarterback. He also has been a wide receiver, but he scores most of their touchdowns, including a couple of kickoff returns. He's a threat for the Greyhounds, who, by the way, are the only school in South Jersey that played 5 champions, NJSIA championship teams during their regular season. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. And Miller hands it off. Nothing there.
And here they are going to play a team that could have been the 6th champion.
Yeah, they were in the final anyway.
I think the big issue today, Tom, is going to be up front. I just going to have to see if Pleasantville is able to handle the size that Ocean City has across the line from them.
The depth as well, too. Ocean City is a deep team. There goes Miller, and he's brought down quickly.
Miller on the carry. Number 3,
Taylor Eggett on the stop.
You know, Thanksgiving Day is always a game you want to perform well. You want to remember it. It's the one game you remember as much as any.
Sure.
Going forward later on in your lifetime. And you know, the Raiders coming off that loss last week, tough loss, and they definitely want to represent themselves very, very well today, and they certainly have on the first 2 plays defensively.
Slot left, a double slot, in fact. Miller back to throw. He's going to run up the middle, find some room, and he's out across the 25 to about the 26. He's going to be about a yard short.
That's a good little run there. He found that seam cut inside it, and I actually thought he was going to get to the first down marker, but as you mentioned, a yard or 2 short there. They may go for it here, Tom.
Looks like it. 4th and a yard. And a whistle. Ocean City called timeout.
They didn't have enough guys on the field, I don't think.
Okay. 4th and 1, Pleasantville from its own 28-yard line. Live video coverage of Ocean City football being produced by Prime Events and Ulmer's Appliance in association with Sports X Network and Crossover Productions. The executive producers are Bill Shallcross and Matt Ulmer. Bill Shallcross is also our videographer. Tell your friends they can watch the action by going to oceancitysports.com or primeevents.net. Bill Shallcross in the cold second floor of Carey Stadium, and Matt Ulmer in Key West or someplace.
Actually, you'd be better off being in the warm sunshine of the field than in the cold press box today for a change.
Yeah, they say it's colder up here where we are than it is down on the field because you don't have any sun in here. So it's 4th and 1. Pleasantville showed signs of going for it, and it looks like they are showing them again. Ocean City had to use a timeout because they were short a player on the field. Miller takes the snap. He's going to throw and whistles. Flag. And it's against Pleasantville, and that might change their thinking.
I just don't know how successful they are at punting the football. And what team was it? Was it Holy Spirit one year that never punted?
Well, I think they punted once or twice in a ridiculous situation, but they didn't want to punt at all. And if I remember correctly, most of the time they didn't put anybody back to return punts. At least a lot of the times they didn't.
Well, that would give them an extra guy to rush the punter.
Yeah, that was their idea. Didn't always work, but it did sometimes. Yeah, they're going to punt it now because it's 4th and 6.
I think the Ocean City was late getting a guy on the field because I think the players anticipated the punt that time and forced the timeout.
Victor Irizarry to punt, 5'11", 233-pound junior. Snaps off a little. He goes and gets it and gets that kick away. Hogue can't get to it, so he has to let it roll, and it's inside the 45-yard line. Ocean City will start in its own territory at about the 44-yard line. Let's see where they end up spotting it.
That's a pretty good punt, Tom, but I will venture to predict that before this game is over, the Raiders will block one of those punts. They were pretty close to that one. And I just think that that's something that may happen today.
So Ocean City with their 2,000-yard backs, 1,000 yards for their careers. Sean Mazzatelli does have 1,000 for the season. There's a play-action pass caught by John Moyer down the right side, and he's inside the 45 for a first down.
Well, you can't start off any better than getting a first down. Well, I guess you can, but
get a touchdown.
Yeah, I guess they're pretty happy though.
Yeah.
If you gain 10 yards in every down.
I'll tell you what they do have. They're going to lose a lot of good people, as we just read off those all-star lists, but they got a good passing attack coming back. Straight ahead, Mazzatelli drives inside the 40 down to about the 36-yard line because they have Hogue back, as a receiver. They also have Patrick Lonergan back, and you just saw a catch made by Moyer, and Pat Grimley has caught 6 passes this year, and of course Gunnels is back. Second and a little less than 5 yards to go. Slot to the receiver to both sides. Mazzatelli shifts and gets the ball, and he's got a first down inside the 30, down around the 26-yard line.
I guess it's a little early to be talking a lot about next year, Tom, but I kind of feel also that the big issue will be they're going to have to replace some guys up on the line, and for the passing attack to work, they got to have some protection up there.
It's true.
But you're right; they're going to have a lot of weapons, a lot of skilled weapons.
There's another one of them. Rick Wetzel just checked in as a slot back here. First and 10 at the 27 of Pleasantville. Gray shifts. Play action. Gray over the middle, and he runs through a tackle, gets it inside the 15-yard line.
They also have a good.
That's a big loss right there, though. Gray on both sides of the ball.
Yep. They also have a lot of pretty good sophomores on this roster, Tom, going forward.
And they also have a freshman, Walker Bailey, who's very good athlete. I think you're going to find him on the field next year as a wide receiver or something for Gunnels' senior year. And then I guess the plan is he might take over as a junior as the quarterback. But he's got the ability to be a wide receiver or even maybe a running back. Ocean City checking the sidelines here.
Good heritage there in that family as well.
Mm-hmm. Gunnels hands it off. No, kept it. And now throws it, and it's caught at the sidelines. They say he's inbounds. They did.
Wow.
Wow, that was close.
I think that's the first time I've seen that play. A couple different fakes in the backfield, and it almost appeared that Gunnels was going to run the ball, that the play was designed for him to run the ball, and yet he makes a great throw and a great catch on the sideline.
Second and 4. Casaboon checks in for Mazzatelli.
Oh, look at
Gunnels, left side. Casaboon pulls out of a tackle, and Ocean City gets the first points of the game.
Just a missed assignment there on defense somewhere. Casaboon just kind of ran a little wheel route out there from that backfield, and just nobody on the defensive side went with him until it was way late. I mean, you were hoping that Gunnels was going to see him in time, and he looked up, he was wide open, and he gets the pass right in his arms, and defense really very slow to react to that.
Casaboon's 5th touchdown of the year, his 2nd as a receiver, and the 16th touchdown pass of the season by Gunnels. Ball is down for McGonigal, and it is up, and it is no good. So he misses for the 2nd time, I guess, this year, and Ocean City holds the lead 6-0 with 6 minutes and 49 seconds left in the first quarter. 6th Street Pizza and Grill is open daily from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. at 6th Street and the Boardwalk, though don't hold them to those hours today. Right at Gillian's Wonderland Pier. They have free delivery and daily specials. Phone them at 609-525-0022 and check them out on Facebook. 6th Street Pizza and Grill. The RJH Insurance Group is specialized in home and flood insurance since 2006. Proudly supports Raider sports. Call Rich Hogue for a quote. 609-630-4569. The RJH Insurance Group. 2 other games today. We'll try to keep you posted. Atlantic City and Holy Spirit are playing, and Vineland and Millville, they kick off in 20 minutes. They're the latest game. 2 games last night. Middle Township beat Lower Cape May 21-8 to win their division, the United division of the West Jersey Football League. And St. Joe's defeated Winslow in a game. The final score was, I don't have it in front of me here, 29-10, I think. But I understand Winslow pulled their starters for the second half. Here's the kickoff, and it is into the end zone for a touchback. It was caught, but you can't come out of the end zone in high school football.
You know, Tom, it's Vineland's going to need to hope that Millville has a letdown after their win last week for the championship there, because they're on paper they're
4th and 12. They're going after it here. Miller being chased at the sideline, lets it go, and the defender had his back to the ball. I don't think he saw it coming, but it was underthrown anyway. So Ocean City will take over on downs at about their own 30-yard line.
I'll tell you, though, I mean, in that series, you see that Pleasantville does have the ability to throw the ball a little bit.
Yes.
Actually, I think the receiver, the intended receiver on that play, was looking for a holding call toward the end of the run, or the end of the route, I should say. Didn't get the call, but I think Pleasantville's shown you they can throw the football a little bit.
Gunnels awaits the snap, hands it off to Wilson, going down the left sideline, and he is going down the left sideline. Finally sees some defense and cuts it back at the 30-yard line, so 40 yards on the run, and a good one there for Ocean City High School by Jacob Wilson.
He had a big hole to run through, started down that sideline, looked like he might break away, but a couple Pleasantville players had angles on him, and one looked to be a little bit quicker, was coming from behind, and they keep him out of the end zone.
He comes off right away, though, and actually limped a little. Slot right. Mazzatelli spins out, gets a yard or two.
Yeah, I think you run 50 yards for a gain there. Oftentimes you come out just to catch your breath a little bit.
Yeah, but he's talking to the Kathy Moran.
Well, that's usually a sign.
Who's turned out to be one of the top athletic trainers in Cape Atlantic League. Former athlete at Mainland Regional. He's actually getting some treatment from her. And Mazzatelli goes straight up the middle for a yard or two. He's inside the 25-yard line.
Always felt Ocean City was very, very fortunate in that respect as well, trainer. I mean, there wasn't anybody better than Drew Breckenridge, and I think he was the best. Not only the best, I think he was one of the first as far as schools having full-time trainers that were at all the games. And then Beth Kelly more recently, and they've always had a good set of them.
Casaboon's in from Mazzatelli. Gunnels to throw over the middle, and he finds Moyer, who holds on after being hit by 2 or 3 defenders. Finally stopped at about the 11.
Yeah, just a lot of weapons that the Raiders have that Pleasantville's having to deal with. This is their second possession, and they're knocking on the door for their second touchdown here in the first quarter. Under a minute to play in a quick first quarter.
Riley Gunnels has had a good year. He's having a good game here. They're throwing the football, and he's throwing it successfully so far. Here he goes rolling right. Fires into the end zone a little high, and the catch couldn't be made. Incomplete. If he'd have caught it, he'd been out of bounds anyway, I think. Gunnels, the third best season passing by a junior at Ocean City. He passed Andrew Donahue's junior year earlier, and the only 2 juniors with more passing yards are the legendary Al Gens and Joe Rapetti 2 years ago.
So we get a timeout
by Pleasantville.
27 seconds left here. Interesting timeout taken.
Second down and 10 at the 11 for Ocean City. Dino Seville Diner It's been serving Cape May County and the Jersey Shore with great homemade meals since 1977. Family owned and operated. They're open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dino's specializes in seafood straight from the docks of Cape May and has the area's largest kids menu. Breakfast is served all day at Dino's. Check them out at dinosdiner.com, where you can browse their menu and specials and order online. You can also phone Dino's at 609-624-3100 for takeout. Dino's Seaville Diner, Route 50, just off Route 9, only minutes away from everywhere. And they wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Ocean City, 2nd and 10 at the 11. Motion. Gunnels keeps it. He's inside the 5 and down to about the 3-yard line.
So bring up a third, or gonna be close to the. They can get a first down. What, at the 2? So it's probably 3rd and 3. A lot of new faces in this lineup so far, Tom. On different plays, not necessarily this play, but.
Mazzatelli to the right of Gunnels, and the whistle.
And that will end the first quarter.
Oh, the quarter end. Quarter ends here at Carey Stadium with Ocean City on top of Pleasantville 6-0, but the Raiders threatening inside the 5-yard line. Sure, True Value Hardware in Summers Point hopes that you'll continue to shop locally. They offer friendly service and expert advice. At Sure Hardware, they'll do anything to help. They're open weekdays until 7, Saturdays until 6, and Sundays until 4. Help is just around the corner at Sure True Value Hardware, 515 New Road, Summers Point. Phone them at 609-927-6464 or visit them online at surehardware.com. Everybody looks forward to fall in Ocean City and the early winters as well. America's greatest family resort. This weekend, free horse and carriage rides continue on Asbury Avenue through Christmas on weekends. And don't forget, earlier today was the 5K Turkey Trot. Until right about kickoff time here, sponsored by the Humane Society. Bud can tell you about his success in the Turkey Trot today. Look for those events and more until the new year is celebrated with first night on December 31st in Ocean City. Bud has a completely different definition of Turkey Trot.
You're not kidding,
It's
Tom.
what you do, run into the table a little later today.
Correct. Correct.
All right, Mazzatelli is in to the left of Gunnels. Ocean City, 3rd down. Mazzatelli gets it, drives up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, just a straight ahead run, a power run behind the offensive line, and 5 yards to pick up, and Mazzatelli does what he does. Scores a touchdown behind a big offensive line, and the Raiders are going to take a 12, probably 13-point lead here as we just start the second quarter.
12th touchdown for Sean Mazzatelli this year. Leads the team in scoring. McGonigal to kick. It's high enough. It's good. And it's 13-0. Ocean City on top. McGonigal now with 165 career points as a kicker. All-time record in the Cape Atlantic League. And I think he just broke a tie with somebody at Ocean City High School. No, he has 162, as we said. Andy Journay, Hall of Fame Andy Journay, the late Andy Journay, scored 164 points. So with 2 more points today, Brendan McGonigal will tie him, and then will only be 6 players in Ocean City history who scored more points than Brendan McGonigal. They are Kevin Sinclair, Austin Martin, Mike Linehan, Charles Adalizzi, Romeo Adalizzi, and A.J. Harris.
You know, Tom, Andy Journay, he's even precedes me, and I think he might even precede you. Is that correct?
What do you mean by precede?
I mean, like I never
he was
saw
back
him
in
play.
1950. Yeah. Played for Fenton Gary. 3 or 4 sport athlete. Member of the Ocean City Sports Hall of Fame, and just really great guy. Was on the city council, I think, for a while.
When I was in college, I used to work for a local laundry company and delivered sheets and pillowcases to all the rooming houses. And Andy Journay had a rooming house, I believe, at like 36th and the Beach. I used to deliver
Journay
there.
Manor.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
family had that for a long time.
Yep.
He did run it for a while. Good guy. Miss him. Here's the kick from McGonigal. It's going to come down at about the 5 or 10 yard line. And trying to go down the left sideline. Oh, still on his feet. Out to about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, one of the things the Raiders have to be careful of is that the play's not over till the whistle blows. Because you think you got the guy wrapped up or cornered, the next thing you know, somebody's making a move down there with the football, and you got to readjust and stay with the play.
1st and 10 at the 25 for the Greyhounds. Roberts Bogan is split wide to the right. They've got a slot to both sides. Miller back to throw, getting rushed, and he takes off. And he does take off. Gets the first down, and he's caught from behind and goes down at about the 38-yard line.
He didn't have anybody to throw the ball to. The Raiders had good man-to-man coverage and a free safety in the middle of the field, and doesn't really seem to bother Miller. He just kind of takes off and makes hay. He's quick, and he's looks to be smart when it comes to making decisions with the football.
Well, they've had a tough schedule. They're ready for good competition. Haven't fared well against it, but they've had a chance to play against it. Here he keeps out across the 45-yard line.
Yeah, just fakes the handoff, going to the right, and keeps it off that left tackle side. Finds, 7, 8 yards?
Yep, second about 3 at the their own 46-yard line. Double slot. Quick pass on the right flat. Trying to find some room, and there isn't any. Ocean City takes him down very quickly. Casaboon and Moyer take down Ivan Gunter, the 5'6", 157-pound sophomore.
Yeah, that's Moyer's side. He's got that side, and Casaboon comes over from that free safety spot, and that's the kind of play I was talking about earlier, though, that Pleasantville needs to make work and get the ball into the hands of somebody speedy and try to get to the outside, but the Raiders weren't having any parts of allowing that.
3rd and about 7. Back to throw. And he gets away. Miller down the right sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds by Kelly, and big first down run.
Well, I tell you, it's almost like you want to spy on him, because he's probably going to carry the football, Tom, as much as anybody on the team before the day is over. And he's a junior, and he's
on either team.
Yeah, he's really run the football well. I mean, that's been the biggest weapon they've had so far, is him running the football.
On the 29-yard line. He has thrown some good passes too, but the pressure has kind of forced him to run. Here he hands it off, and trying to bounce it outside is Qasim Azadullah, the 5'5", 151-pound junior, but he couldn't find a hole in that Ocean City defensive line.
Yeah, they got to run a play like that with somebody else just to keep the defense honest if you can, but you'll see the next time it'll be a fake to somebody, and Miller will keep the ball going the other way. That'd be my guess.
Double slot formation again. 2nd and a little more than 11 to go. Miller looks to throw, throwing it down the right sideline. He's out there, couldn't pull it in. Good defense by Ocean City, I think, is what broke that play up. I think it was Kelly.
Just a tad of a push that the offensive receiver had on the defender there at the last minute. Got him free, but unable to haul in a pass that was definitely on target.
I think Kelly got a hand on it near the end there to
I think you might be right.
Break it up, but it was nicely thrown. And Pleasantville on the Ocean City 30-yard line. Miller scampers, now finds a receiver. Pass low and incomplete. Trying to throw it so only the intended receiver could get to it, but it was too low.
And had it been completed, it would have been short, maybe a yard of the first down. But again, I think that was Kelly over there on coverage.
Mm-hmm. So it's 4th and 11. Jacob Wilson, by the way, is in the secondary, so he's okay.
Yeah, I think they were doing some stretching work with him.
Double slot formation. Miller's got the Hill to his left. Back to throw, steps up. Trying to get to the left sideline, and he does, but he's pushed out of bounds, and that will turn the football over to Ocean City as Sean Mazzatelli chased him down.
Yeah, and trying to, find somebody open, trying to obviously extend the play, and yet, you don't need to throw the ball away there. 4th down, whether you throw it away or not, or get out of bounds at the line of scrimmage, the ball's going to be in the same spot anyway.
8:33 left in the first half. Ocean City on top here, 13-0. Got the receivers to each side. And here comes Mazzatelli. Cuts it back and picks up about 7 out across the 35.
When we're up here in the press box, Tom, obviously it's pretty easy for us to see things and as far as the holes that open up and all, but Mazzatelli does such a good job, as does Wilson, about seeing the hole when he gets to the line of scrimmage. I mean, they make nice cutbacks.
2,000-yard backs, career-wise anyway. Mazzatelli also got 1,000 this year. And here comes Moyer. He sidesteps the tackle. Down the left sideline, steps out of bounds around midfield. The guy that'll get a lot of action next year. Steps out at the Ocean City 49-yard line.
Yeah, nicely designed play, and they come to the short side of the field. So Moyer's tiptoeing there along the sideline, does a good job to stay in bounds up into the 49-yard line. Pleasantville's done some nice things on offense. They just haven't shown any ability really to do much stopping on defense.
Mike Gray checks in. Mazzatelli to the right of Gunnels. Gunnels looks to throw, throws back. Eggett got a nice block, pull his shirt away from the defender and gets it inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he had to make a decision there behind that block whether he wanted to cut inside to the center of the field or stay to the outside along the sideline, and I think he made the right decision, picked up another 10 yards after that. Good block down there, and just missed who it was, Tom, to mention, but
there's a flag on the play. A flag downfield, and it's against Ocean City. Illegal block in the back. So that's going to move them back.
From the point of the end of the play. I was about to say, when we started the second half, so few penalties in that first half. If there was one, maybe.
Yeah, one against Pleasantville.
And the way the Raiders have, that was one of their Achilles heels. Not that it hurt them in the first 8 or 9 games, but they had a lot of penalties.
I'm not sure they had a penalty last week. Ocean City, if they did, it was very few. But you're right. 2 games before that, they had over 100 yards each. Slot to the right. Gunnels set to throw. He's going long down the right side, and it's incomplete. Intended out there for Kelly. Probably could have taken a couple more steps in the pattern, but I think he jumped a little too soon.
He had a couple defenders on him, and the ball's just aired out down the field, and you're right, the ball was thrown to a spot where he was a little bit short of that route, but I think he was unable to get by the defender who was running with him in one-on-one coverage.
Andrew Karianis checks into the game. He'll be part of trips to the right. Gunnels awaits the snap. Mazzatelli straight up the middle. Mazzatelli at the 30. Mazzatelli at the 20. And he's pulled down about the 15, maybe 10-yard line. Let's see.
Well, he made two really nice moves to gain an extra 20 yards, maybe 30.
Ball's going to be spotted inside the 15 at about the 13-yard line.
We have seen a lot of different, you mentioned Carianis in the game there at that last play time. We've seen a lot of different wide receivers so far today.
Trips to the left. Back to throw. Gunnels being chased. Throws on the run, and it's out of bounds.
And tended down there for John Moyer. But again, a good throw, just a little long or wide, so to speak, from Moyer there.
Yeah, the trips out to the left on that previous play were Moyer, Carianis, and Rick Wetzel, all of whom will be back. So maybe they're kind of previewing. But like you said, there's a lot of holes that have to be filled as well. In addition, the receivers are fine. But, you know, here's a handoff to Mazzatelli. And he drives inside the 10, down close to the 5-yard line.
I mean, the bread and butter in this game so far has been the running attack. Mostly Mazzatelli. And again, Pleasantville just unable to stop that.
It's kind of been the bread and butter all year.
Yep.
And that's what they couldn't do last week against Millville. They couldn't run the ball. Mazzatelli up the middle. And he's in for the touchdown. Delayed signal. From about 8 yards. His second score of the game. 13th of the season.
Yeah, it's just almost seems too easy on offense. Pleasantville's going to have to get something working on both sides of the football here. We've still got 6 minutes left here in the first half. Raiders are looking to go up 20-0. They've scored on each of their possessions.
McGonigal the kick. Ball is down. The kick is up. It's high enough. It's good. And Ocean City has a 20-0 lead over Pleasantville. That snap was a little off. Moyer has been a solid holder all season long for McGonigal. Ocean City Aquatic and Fitness Center is an exercise facility that encourages people of all ages and fitness levels to join and feel better. The center has a saltwater pool, strength and conditioning equipment, cardio machines, and aerobic and water exercise classes. The aquatic
bit of a helping wind behind the Raiders' back, more I guess south to north here, but not a lot.
On the Johnson's Popcorn scoreboard, it's Holy Spirit 21, Atlantic City nothing in the second quarter. Here's the kick. And it's going to come down at around the 4. And here goes Miller out to about the 26-yard line. He's brought 2 kickoffs back for touchdowns this year. It's not hard to believe.
It reminds me of a Miller who played in Ocean City who did all the same things. I mean, was a quarterback, was a defensive back, ran back punts, ran back kickoffs. Mm-hmm. David Miller was one of those players that you talked about from the past who was just an outstanding athlete here.
Mm-hmm. From an athletic family.
Yep.
Double slot formation. Miller takes the snap. Back to throw. He pump fakes, runs away from the rush. He's gone long down the sideline. His battle for the ball, and it's incomplete. Good coverage by Kelly.
Yeah, he just aired that one out and kind of hoped, I think. Kelly had the inside position, and the receiver, the intended receiver, played defense there to keep Kelly from completing that interception.
2nd and 10.
I mean, I think definitely the receiver knocked the ball away from him at the end.
Double slot formation, man in motion. Miller over the middle. Pass is caught. A couple of yards short of the first down. And no chance to advance the ball. That was Xander Roberts-Bogan. He's a junior. Pleasantville has 5 seniors in their 33-player roster. 8 juniors, 17 sophomores, and 3 freshmen. So it's a young team that had to battle through a very tough schedule. Now Miller being chased, and they finally get him.
Miller is sacked in the backfield. Tackle made by number 3, Eggett.
Eggett in on the stop. Gave him a pat on the helmet.
Yeah, it's good sportsmanship. I mean, they realize that that Miller's just a really good player back there, and they've been chasing him so far in the first half and haven't been able to get him down. And that time they were. I think he got some help in there from maybe Don Guerrera.
So it's 4th and 9. They're going to punt the football.
I love to see good sportsmanship, Tom.
Rick Wetzel, I think, is back there at the 46-yard line.
Rivalry in punting position.
High snap, gets it away, floats it downfield, and it rolls inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line. It's a late flag well behind the play.
Yeah, it's going to be a personal foul against Pleasantville.
So that'll move Ocean City 15 yards further downfield. They'll end up at about the 46-yard line, I guess, of Pleasantville.
A couple of players, one from each team. When, the gunner for Pleasantville, and I think it was Kelly, who was keeping him from going downfield, and they were really having a battle against each other, and then they ended up going to the ground, and the Pleasantville player just kind of pushed him and did some extracurricular stuff after the play was over, right in front of the referee. So that was an easy flag.
And
And it is at the Pleasantville 46-yard line. 4:32 remaining in the first half. Ocean City on top here, 20-0. Well, they're ready to go. Wilson's in to the left of Gunnels. He's got a 40-yard average in this game. One carry, 40 yards. First timeout is called by Pleasantville with 4:32 remaining in the first half. The Raiders are on top 20-0. Tolson Consulting can help you. Tolson Consulting specializes in labor management relations as well as government relations. With over 30 years of experience, Tolson Consulting is capable of meeting all your labor relations needs. Call Rich Tolson, 609-468-0704. He's a 1976 graduate of Ocean City High School, a former Raider, recently honored in New York City for all of his work on behalf of labor. I think the first swim meet is next week.
I hope it's indoors.
It is, and basketball practice began actually on Monday. They practiced for 3 days, and then today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, they're not allowed to practice. And then they resume on Monday. So the first scrimmage will be the following week for basketball.
Why not allowed to practice?
It's just a new rule. They originally thought it was because the families wanted to travel for the Thanksgiving weekend, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Here's Gunnels scrambling, makes the completion, and looking for room is they're having trouble bringing him down, and he's inside the 20-yard line. Another big run by Mike Gray.
And a good find from Gunnels to see him there. We're doing a little bit of scrambling, and he finds this big, one of his favorite wide receivers there, or defense, actually receivers, usually not wide receiver, but receiver.
Yeah. He's wide, though. He's
tall.
Caught 14 passes this year, and 6 of them for touchdowns. When he gets going, he's tough to bring down. Wilson to the left of Gunnels, and Gunnels keeps it, hits Wilson in the right flat. He's got room down the right sideline. A couple of flags come in, and he stopped inside the 10.
And we're seeing some plays here that I don't recall seeing earlier this season, much if at all. That's another good couple of fakes, and looks like this one may go against the Raiders.
Yep.
Holding against the Raiders.
So Ocean City will back up.
Still 350, 351 left here in the first half.
Mazzatelli's going to come in. Gray comes back in.
Well, you would think that Mazzatelli would get the ball here, even though they're first and 15. I mean, he's probably averaging 10 yards a carry so far.
2 touchdowns for Sean. He has 13 on the season. He's in the top 10 in rushing yardage among Cape Atlantic League backs. And he does indeed get it and takes it into the 20, where it's going to be second and about 10.
Yeah, it's under his average probably. He's just really had a good first half.
Raiders check the sidelines as they always do. Anyway, it turns out that the reason they made that rule is the schools didn't want to have to pay a custodian to be in on Thanksgiving weekend. And you can't be in the building without one because of some black, what's it called?
Black, it has to do with a boiler license.
Yeah.
You got to be able to run the boiler if it catches fire or something.
Correct. Somebody with that license has to be in the building if it's occupied.
Right. And most schools only have one person.
So the schools said, wait, we don't want to be the bad guy. So they asked the NJSIA to be the bad guys, and they said, okay. So that's why you don't have anything on Thanksgiving weekend, and there's not a basketball coach in the state that likes it.
No, because the kids eat so much on Thanksgiving, you got to get them in shape right away.
No, it's because it knocks out at least one, sometimes 2 scrimmages.
Right.
Because you got to have 6 days of practice before you can scrimmage. Gunnels makes the completion at about the 19-yard line to Andrew Carianis. Well, I guess it's going to be about 9 yards to go. He got the penalty back and another yard, so it's 3rd and 9.
He got a good block there, too, from Mazzatelli. Looked like one of the Pleasantville players had a chance to make the stop or at least get some contact on Gunnels, and Mazzatelli made a real good block and avoided a block in the back.
Gunnels looking Casaboon, but then finds Moyer across the middle, and he's knocked out of bounds. Looks like he might have the first down. Yeah, he's going to have it easily.
Again, the Raiders are, some guys in the game, and I'm sure that's the plan. It's Thanksgiving Day. We got a lot of guys, maybe some guys who haven't played quite as much.
Sure.
We got some seniors that we want to get in the game, but Casaboon's played some offensive series here, and Carianis has played. Wetzel has played.
That was Carianis' first catch, but not the first catch in his family for sure. Rolling right, Gunnels stops. He's going to throw back, and guess who's all alone? Mike Gray. That's his 7th touchdown reception of the season.
Boy, I don't know. I won't say I could have caught that, but if I was that wide open, I'd have a pretty good chance. I don't think there was anybody within 15 yards of him in the end zone.
Right.
And it's not like Mike Gray's a little guy like a Dino Hall that could hide a little bit among some guys. He's a big guy.
Absolutely. McGonigal to kick. It's high enough. It's good. That ties him with Andy Journay. He's not going to go any higher than that. He'd have to get 30 more points to catch A.J. Harris. So, but a tremendous career by McGonigal, Brendan McGonigal, who he's 3 for 4 today, so he's 51 for 54 this season, and 6 for 10 in field goals. just a tremendous career. He holds the Cape Atlantic or the Cape May County and Ocean City record for field goals in a career, and the all-time Cape Atlantic League record for most kicking points in a career. And as we said, his kickoffs and punts have been a big factor for Ocean City all year as well.
Wonder what he's doing next year.
Well, he's hoping for Villanova, is my understanding, but no decisions have been made yet.
Oh, he certainly helped that program. He'll help any program. I mean, for a high school kicker to kick the ball at or near the end zone in high school, I mean, you're only going to get bigger and stronger.
He's waiting now to kick off. It's a low line drive, and it's available. Finally picked up and bringing it out across the 35, close to the 40-yard line.
You know, it's interesting, Tom. He's taken a little bit more of a run-up to the ball on his kickoffs so far today. I mean, I've seen him take like a four-step and then kick off earlier in the season.
Qasim Azadullah on that return. He's the one that finally picked it up after it was booted around a little bit. 1st and 10 from the 40 for Pleasantville. Final 2 minutes here of the first half. Or almost. Miller awaits the snap. He's got that double slot formation. Rolling right and out of bounds.
Yeah, he picked up maybe 3. Gets out of bounds, stops the clock. Got a couple minutes here still in the first half. Just a bright, sunny day here at the shore.
A lot of guys have stepped up for this team during this season as well, and one of them certainly is Zach Holt. 6.5 sacks. Puts him among the top 10 for a season at Ocean City. And of course, the shame is Tom Shuttum missed the last few games with a season-ending injury. He's an all-star, 3-year starter. Miller looking downfield. Now he's going to let it fly. Up for grabs. Incomplete. He can throw the ball.
Yeah, he did. I mean, over almost a 40-yard pass off his back foot.
So it'll be 3rd and 8.
You know, he's running for his life back there at some point. And a lot of times he's just running, but other times, you know, he's running for his life and they're chasing him for that sack. But, you know, he didn't even get a chance to set his feet there. Maybe to get some other players around them. And as you said, you know, they're going to be a year older next year.
3rd and 8. Miller's alone in the backfield. There's 5 receivers out, and he's going to try to run it. And the ball comes out. It's recovered by Ocean City. Jumping on top of it is Mike Gray, and Ocean City will have the ball on the 43-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, you could almost see that coming at some point. I mean, the Raiders were coming after him there. They were going to bring everybody but probably the defensive backs, and Miller just had no chance whatsoever and took a hit there and immediately, and Gray right there, and the ball right down at his feet, and all he had to do was fall on it.
At the 42-yard line of Pleasantville, 1st and 10.
So a recovered fumble and a touchdown catch.
Receiver left, slot right. Casaboon is in the backfield with Gunnels, who's back to throw. Throws it over the middle for Wetzel, threw a little behind him and incomplete. And Karianis is going to come back in the huddle and say, I was 5 yards behind my man. But he'd already looked off Karianis. So.
Yeah, and he had some pressure on him that time. The Pleasantville was putting some pressure on Gunnels, which they haven't been able to get as much pressure up to this point.
Eggett checks in. They'll have Gray on the left wing, slot to the right. Gunnels back to throw. throws over the middle, and there he is again, inside the 30-yard line. Mike Gray makes the reception for a first down.
Yeah, every quarterback has a favorite receiver. And when he's in trouble, he likes to find that receiver. And it's worked so far here today.
Casabun in the backfield. Gunnels avoids the rush, throws the ball away.
Pass is incomplete.
You know, Tom, we mentioned that nobody on Pleasantville team except one player is over 6 foot tall. And we don't talk about this a lot, but, you know, Gunnels is 6'4". I mean, for a quarterback to be 6'4" in high school and be able to look over, you know, what usually are bigger offensive and defensive linemen is just a huge advantage.
Officials stopped the clock. Ball's on the 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Second and 10, excuse me.
Pleasantville's huddling over there, almost like a timeout.
There's a player hurt down on the 5-yard line for Pleasantville.
Okay.
And also on the Johnson's Popcorn scoreboard, Millville 7, Vineland nothing in the first quarter. It's still, last we heard anyway, Holy Spirit leading Atlantic City 21-0. And here, Ocean City's on top 27-0.
Almost looks like he's definitely in some discomfort down there, but it almost looks like a cramp, like a cramp in the calf.
Here's some other scores. Shawnee leads Lenape 14-0. Paul VI leads Camden Catholic 14-0. Don't see any update here on the Holy Spirit game. So it's as last we heard, 21-0.
You know, it's a shame that, you know, there aren't more games on Thanksgiving Day. I'm not as big a traditionalist as a lot of people are. I understand that, you know, you get newer things and things evolve and traditions evolve, but I just always felt like everybody should be playing football on Thanksgiving morning.
Well, everybody that wants to, and the rules are set up so that they can continue to play even though they're going to have the state championships next year. They're allowing for Thanksgiving for people that want to play, but more and more schools are making the decision not to play. Back to throw is Gunnels, and he's in trouble. Down he goes at about the 35-yard line.
I'll bet you if they left it up to the kids, they'd all want to play. But there aren't many schools that are going to let the kids make a decision like that.
Rashad Hill in on that sack. It's 3rd down and about 17 yards to go. Ocean City uses its second timeout with 54 seconds left here in the first half. The rides aren't open at Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th Street and the Boardwalk in Ocean City, but this is a good time to get bargains for next summer. Their holiday ticket sale is underway at Gillians.com. Wonderland Pier, your tickets never expire. You can bring your leftover tickets from this year to the park when it opens next spring. Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th on the Boardwalk in Ocean City. Visit them online for savings at Gillians.com. Things are always happening at the Ocean City Free Public Library. The virtual lecture series returns December the 2nd at 7 p.m. on Zoom with Vanessa Young talking about plant-forward cooking and ways to use vegetables, beans, fruits, and whole grains in recipes. You can learn to play bridge at the library, improve your cooking and computer skills. It's all free, plus books, magazines, internet access, trivia contests, Dungeons and Dragons, and much more. The Ocean City Free Public Library, 18th and Simpson, online, oceancitylibrary.org. Gunnels trips to the right side, back to throw, being rushed, gets free, and he's going to run it. And he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a sack.
Yeah, loses about a yard. I think the Raiders would go for it here. Their defense has been stout, and there's only 40 seconds and the clock's running. They maybe run it down for the one last play here, but
why not a 53-yard field goal attempt?
Probably a little cold for that.
Maybe. Ocean City's letting it run. They're probably going to call timeout.
I'm a little surprised. I mean, if you get the first down, but not the touchdown, you don't have much time left.
Yeah. Back to throw, Gunnels. He gets free. Fires it downfield, and it's going to be incomplete. Almost intercepted. Trying again to get it to Gray. And there's all zeros on the clock. So that's it. That's the end of the first half here at Carey Stadium. Ocean City will receive the opening kickoff to start the second half. And they lead it here 27-0. 2 touchdown passes by Riley Gunnels. One to Casaboon and one to Gray. And 2 touchdown runs by Sean Mazzatelli. And Ocean City has a 27-0 lead. So we'll take some time out here. Oh, well, actually, it says all zeros, doesn't it? Am I reading that wrong?
No, I think it does say all zeros.
But somehow they're playing. 1st and 10 Pleasantville from their own 36-yard line.
3 seconds they just put up.
3 seconds, okay. There's Miller in the backfield. And he's down.
Sacked in the backfield.
Sacked back there by Zach Mazzatelli.
Yep.
So to Mazzatelli Thanksgiving here at Carey Stadium. And the Raiders lead it 27-0. As we break for halftime, we'll be back with the second half of this annual rivalry game. By the way, this is the 99th meeting between Ocean City and Pleasantville, so I guess we'll have big things happening next year over in Pleasantville. Set 27-0 here at the half. We'll be back.
Ready to take the field.
second half. The Raiders receive the kickoff on the Johnson's Popcorn scoreboard. Holy Spirit leads Atlantic City at the half 36-0. And after one quarter, it's Millville 15, Vinyl nothing.
Well, not surprised, Tom. I mean, all three games today should pretty much, at least on paper, mirror each other. We're at 27, short of an extra point. We'd be one touchdown behind the Holy Spirit score at halftime. And Millville's got another quarter to do the same.
Well, there's no doubt there were three definite favorites on Thanksgiving 2021, but nobody's the trailing team hasn't scored yet in any one of the three games. Though we've seen some good effort from Samir Miller here, the 6-foot, 172-pound junior quarterback.
Yep. Let's get some big guys around them. I think you'll see I think they'll try to get everybody in this football game today. Well, the Raiders and Pleasantville as well, although they don't have quite as many players on the sideline.
But they're ready to kick off here. Greyhounds trailing 27-0. If Ocean City scores, they'll have a running clock. They have a running clock for the second half in the Holy Spirit Atlantic City game. Here's the kick. And it's taken at about the 15. And that's Moyer. And Moyer's got a field down the sideline. He's got speed, too.
Oh, man, he's quick.
John Moyer brings it all the way back. And Ocean City sets up the running clock right away.
Well, I didn't realize he did have that kind of speed, John. I mean, John.
That's his name. You're talking right to him.
Sorry, Tom. But you're right. I mean, a couple Pleasantville players had an angle on him, and he just outran them right down the sideline. That was a burst.
Now he's got to catch his breath because he's going to hold for the extra point. They're going to try. They're going to use Ryder Hay to kick the extra point. 5'8", 200-pound sophomore who will take over for McGonigal next year. He's kicked one this year. But Moyer to hold. Ball is down. The kick is up. It's high enough. And good. So Ocean City leads it here 34-0. And we're in a running clock as only 14 seconds gone in the second half. The RJH Insurance Group has specialized in home and flood insurance since 2006 and proudly supports Raider sports. Call Rich Hogue for a quote at 609-630-4569. The RJH Insurance Group. Winning teams know that the key to success is getting the job done right the first time. For over 100 years, Calvi Electric has applied that philosophy to their business to offer an unparalleled level of electrical expertise and service to every single customer. Now you can bring Calvi's expertise into your home for your electrical problems or improvements. And they can install solar panels that will save you money. Make Calvi Electric a part of your winning team. Call 609-345-0151 or visit CalviElectric.com.
Well, there we are. Now we're 1 point behind that Holy Spirit score, and it only took, 12 seconds?
I thought they were 36-0.
Oh,
35? Maybe it was 35. Here comes the kick from McGonigal. Gets the leg into it. And it's taking it to 2. Looking for room up the middle. Here goes Miller. He's across the 40. Miller down the sideline. And he's out of bounds. We almost had that rarity of back-to-back kickoff returns.
I was just thinking the same thing. It's hard to see from here if he was going to stay in bounds or not over there, but there's not a whole lot more exciting than a kickoff return for a touchdown.
It is. I think it's the most exciting thing in sports because, not in this case, but usually the other team just scored.
Right.
So here you come right back. And plus, it's a spectacular play. It usually covers 85, 90 yards. But it's a play that football is looking down on.
Right.
Because of the possibility of injury. Apparently, it's a lot higher in kickoff returns.
I don't know. I feel like there's what could be more dangerous than a receiver going over the middle and going up to make a catch and a safety bearing down on him and taking a free shot.
That was the first kickoff return for a touchdown for Ocean City in 7 years. Here we go. Miller back to throw. That's not Miller. That pass is incomplete at the sidelines, and excuse me, but that was Dasan Brown, a 5'7" sophomore, listed as a wide receiver, but throwing there. The last person to return a kickoff for a touchdown at Ocean City was Jared Jones in 2014. He brought it back 78 yards at Absegami. And the year before, Owen Deeroff brought one back 84 yards at Triton. So I don't know when the last time was somebody did it here at Cary Stadium.
You know, I realized that wasn't Miller as well, Tom, when he threw that pass left-handed.
Yeah.
But I see Miller, I think, on the sideline over there.
Yeah. I think I see him too. Now they're realigning people here. But it's a double slot formation. And room up the middle. That big sophomore running back, Ashad Hill, 6 foot, 210 pounds, picks up first down yardage.
Yeah, they're you know, it's pretty tough. I mean, it is Thanksgiving Day and you're pumped up to play, but now that the score's 34-0, you're kind of, you know, it's pretty tough to keep that momentum or that intensity, I should say, up.
First and 10 at the 30. Scrambling. Pass is incomplete. Dasan Brown again on the throw. Maybe he did catch it.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, thrown a little bit behind him. They tried to, you know, again, that time he's throwing across his body because he's rolling to the right, and again, he's a southpaw quarterback. So that's a tough throw for any quarterback. Run one way and throw the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Now Miller's as a wide receiver right now, out on the right side.
He's listed as quarterback wide receiver. Of course, you can't play both, so you know here he's going to get a chance to do them both in the same game anyway. And Eggett makes the stop, trying to get to the left sideline. Couldn't get there, but he did pick up some yardage. It'll be third down and less than 5.
And Pleasantville brings a quarterback over to the sideline, and then he runs back in with the play.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt that was tough for a quarterback. You're running back and forth, getting the play in and then executing.
Miller splits wide to the right by himself, and there'll be trips to the left. Miller's got one-on-one coverage out there. Brown scrambles, pulls out of a tackle, and drives down close to the 30, close to the first down. Probably close enough to go for it.
Oh, yeah. They're, at this point, you can't see them punting at all. I mean, they're going to be a yard and a half probably short. But it doesn't look like they lose a whole lot with Brown as far as running the football.
No. And he threw it pretty well, too. Trips to the left, up, ball's loose on the ground, picked up. And Holt brings it out across the 35. Zach Holt, who we said earlier, leads the team in sacks, and here he picked up a fumble and almost had a clear field.
He needed one more step because he had two players around him who could have blocked the last defender who had a shot at him, but they were all kind of jumbled up there in the middle, and he just couldn't break free.
So Ocean City will take over on its own 38-yard line.
With the running clock, this is going to be a fast football game today.
Gunnels back to throw. Fires. It's high and incomplete. Trying to get it out there to Nasir Kelly. On the Johnson's Popcorn scoreboard, Millville scored twice more. They lead Vineland 31-0. Camden and Woodrow Wilson are scoreless after a quarter. And it's still Holy Spirit 36, Atlantic City nothing. That's in the second half. 2nd and 10. Mazzatelli escorted to the left side, and he's got the first down out of bounds around midfield.
Yeah, he just really just kind of picked his way there along that left side and waited for the blockers to form. Just really, there's not much else you could say. I mean, right now the Raiders are just a better football team, and they got better numbers. They got fresh players, and they're executing. So it's a tough road to hoe for the Greyhounds right here.
Here's a running play out to or into the 45-yard line. That was Casaboon. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line. Gain of about 6. 2nd and 4.
Casaboon's had some touchdowns this year. One, I remember via interception, I think, for a touchdown.
No, I don't think he has a defensive touchdown. I don't think Ocean City has any defensive touchdowns. He did intercept the pass, got down close to the goal line, I think. And he scored today.
Yes, on offense.
Yeah.
He's had a good season, as you said, on that all-star team.
Officials stopped the clock here. I don't know they're pointing at the Ocean City sidelines. And they kind of waved Mazzatelli back onto the field. I don't know what that was all about. It's 3rd and about a yard. Hendrick splits wide to the left. There's a slot out there. Gunnels. That's Mazzatelli. Avoids first man and gets the first down inside the 40. Unofficially 16 first downs for Ocean City. They're on the 39-yard line of Pleasantville.
I think you see a lot of these sophomores for the remainder of this football game.
Gunnels hands it off and driving for a couple. Roy Saluda, 5'10", 168-pound sophomore.
There you go.
2nd and 8. Slot to the left. And Saluda for another yard or two in close to the 35-yard line.
I saw Walker Bailey on the sideline. You mentioned him earlier, Tom, as the only freshman. He's on crutches down there. I think it looked like he had a ice wrapped around his knee. So I wonder if that happened, like when that could have happened.
So, 3rd and about 8. And here goes Gunnels. He's hit at about the 33, 34-yard line. Goes down there. So it'll be 4th down and 5. McGonigal walks down near the coaches, hoping they'll come up with an idea.
Either that or hoping they pick up 5 yards and he gets a chance later in the series. Carianis is going to come in the game, so.
4th and about 5. Receiver right, slot left. Gunnels runs away from pressure. He's got a field in front of him, and he's got a first down at the 25-yard line.
Yep, good decision. I think he had Mazzatelli, or not Mazzatelli, I guess probably Saluga's in there now. Had him on a little swing pass to the left side, but saw that opening on the right to get the first down. New set of downs. McGonigal goes back to the net.
It looks like Moyer's come in to replace Gunnels.
Moyer is a quarterback.
Takes the snap, hands it off to Saluda off the left side, and he gets a few yards and then is driven back by Victor Irizarry with an extraordinarily slow whistle.
Yeah, definitely had his forward progress stopped, and Irizarry hung on, made a good defensive play to bring him down and finally get the whistle.
Quarter comes to an end here at Carey Stadium. Ocean City's on top, 34-0. If you're planning to build a home, make your first step a visit to Halliday Leonard. At Halliday Leonard, they'll consult you on your design and assist the development of your custom home. They build single homes that will fit most any budget, plus condominiums, townhouses, and commercial buildings. Get your ideas together and take them to Halliday Leonard, 700 Haven Avenue in Ocean City, or phone them at 398-5737. That's 609-398-5737. Halliday Leonard will help make your dream home a reality. Johnson's Popcorn is known all over the Delaware Valley, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. They're open all year at 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 or go online at johnsonspopcorn.com to place your order. Johnson's Popcorn since 1940. And Shoppy's is even better online. You may know their showroom at 1031 Shore Road in Linwood, but you can order whatever you need at Shoppy.com. That's SCHOPPY. Remember, you're not presenting the best trophy if it's not a Shoppy trophy. Phone 609-653-1684. Shoppy's since 1921, starting a new century.
So 1 quarter to go in the 2021 football season.
Ocean City on top here, 34-0. Ocean City has 5 shutouts this year. And in the Cape Atlantic League era, they had, well, 6, I'm sorry, not the Cape Atlantic League era. That's the most in the Cape Atlantic era, 5. But they had 6 back in 1947. Was the last time they had 6. Here's Moyer trying to get outside, and he's not going to get anywhere. Good pursuit by Ivan Gunter. But anyway, the most shutouts in the season is 8 in 1932. But they can tie that 1947 was the last time they had 6 if they hold on here in the 4th quarter and shut out the Greyhounds.
So I believe Moyer is the quarterback now, Tom.
Yeah.
The only other quarterback on the roster besides Walker Bailey.
He keeps. And he's being chased from behind and ridden out of bounds by Miller. I don't think he knew Miller was there.
Well, he had a few other guys there to help him.
He closed fast.
Miller and Brown. You know, the Browns played a lot as well defensively and played a little quarterback in that last series for the Greyhounds.
4th and 10 at the 25-yard line. Moyer takes the snap. Being chased. He loses the football. Pleasantville recovers it. Would have been their ball anyway because it was 4th down, but they'll take over on the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and again, the clock runs, so it's and it runs even now. We're under 10.5 minutes to go. Ocean City's first turnover of the game, I believe. A lot of new faces now.
So it's 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line.
I'm sure if there are any seniors who haven't played as much, they'll be in the lineup.
Millville now leads 38-0 over Vineland report is on their last 2 touchdowns, Millville did an onside kick and recovered one of them.
That won't make some people happy.
And the ball comes loose. Now, was that a pass? I don't know. Officials haven't signaled. Looks like they're going to spot the ball for a loss, so it was not a pass. It was a fumble that went out of bounds.
Well, a lot of pressure down there on the quarterback, and I believe it was Dom Guerrera, was it 56, who came from that left end spot on defense and really timed the snap perfectly and was in pursuit and you know, there wasn't going to be anything other than a sack or a fumble or an incomplete pass coming from there.
Second, about 13, back at the 32-yard line. Quick pass down the sideline by Miller and is incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. I'm going to put it down.
The Raiders have had good pressure all game. Guerrera, senior, getting some playing time here.
3rd and 13.
See if there are any other seniors who you can see out there.
They're in the huddle a long time, are the Greyhounds.
Liam Coop, I think he's another senior that's out on defense right now.
Miller awaiting the snap, puts a man in motion, gives him the ball, but Ocean City closes fast. He picks up a yard or 2, but it'll be 4th and 11. Clock already down to 7.5 minutes. And a player down. So that'll stop the clock. Officials timeout. Trainers come out from both sides. We remind you, if you or somebody you know hopes to continue playing sports in college, Bill Shallcross at Crossover Productions can help. Bill can assist you in putting your best foot forward with a professionally produced highlight video at an affordable price. All sports are welcome. No job too big or too small. Bill Shallcross has more than 25 years of experience recording sports events and creating edited videos. Call Bill at 609-513-8950. And you can talk to him about putting together a video presentation that will get colleges interested. Crossover Productions, producing quality video since 1991. And if you need somebody with a black seal, Bill's got one, it turns out.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Black seal license, yep.
So Ocean City comes back onto the field. Pleasantville player, that was Ivan Gunter, off on his own. And the Greyhounds are going to go for it here, 4th and 11. Miller throws down the right sideline, and it is caught at the 45-yard line. Runs through a tackle, straight arms another, and he gets it inside the 5-yard line. What a run by Khalil Witherspoon, the 6'2", 181-pound sophomore.
Well, he needed all 6'2" to catch that football because that ball was up in the air high. The defensive back was giving up quite a few inches, and he just, you know, reached up and got it. And if it wasn't for Ryan Callahan there, another Ocean City sophomore, that had been 6 points. So
will it be enough to set up an end to the shutout here? 1st and goal at the 3. Receiver right, trips to the left. Miller takes a snap, looks to throw. Now he scrambles. He fires into the end zone. It's tipped away. Incomplete.
Caught.
Oh, I'm sorry. He did catch it. He did catch it for the touchdown.
Yep, he threw the ball just off the back shoulder, and it was caught there in the end zone.
Looks like it was Deshaun Brown, who was playing quarterback for a while. Makes the catch in the end zone, and Pleasantville spoils that shutout, and it's a 34-6 lead.
Well, I'm sure the Raiders wanted the shutout, but in the overall scheme of things, it's not a bad idea that Pleasantville, gets a touchdown on Thanksgiving Day for themselves.
Sure. Miller. Deep drop, pump fake. Jumps over a defender, and he's good for the 2-point conversion. Again, that defender has to be on the ground or it's a penalty, but he was.
He was? I didn't
close.
think he was. I think he just hurdled him. And, it's a play I like to see that one again, but that's a play that's just pretty impressive, whether it's legal or not.
34-8, Ocean City on top. We got a running clock here at Carey Stadium. Holy Spirit on the scoreboard now leads Atlantic City 42-8 in the fourth quarter. As we continue trying to bring you up to date with what's going on elsewhere on this Thanksgiving. Not as many games as there used to be, but there's still football going on in Millville and Atlantic City. Dino's Seaville Diner has been serving Cape May County and the Jersey Shore with great homemade meals since 1977. Family owned and operated. They're open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dino's specializes in seafood straight from the docks of Cape May and has the area's largest kids menu. Breakfast is served all day at Dino's. Check them out at dinosdiner.com, where you can browse their menu and specials and order online. You can also phone Dino's at 609-624-3100 for takeout. Dino's Seaville Diner, Route 50, just off Route 9, only minutes away from everywhere. And I bet they make a pretty good Thanksgiving dinner.
I had a good meatloaf sandwich there last week.
There you go. Last time you had a nice, healthy salad.
Correct.
So trying the whole menu.
Chef salad.
Right.
Although I don't know how healthy it is with all that ham and cheese and turkey on there. But now we're back to not a running clock, correct?
No, it has to go below 20, down to 24.
I thought it was 30.
No. Here comes Moyer again. He says, I'm going to do it twice in one game. Now he's going all the way across the field, and he's just going out of bounds.
Oh, if he had done it then, he probably would have run 120 yards.
So Ocean City will operate from its own 43-yard line, I'm guessing.
Wasn't it? It used to be 35 points, right, Tom?
Yeah, it used to be 35, put it in action, and 35 would go below 35, you stop it. Now 33 puts it in action, you got to get down to 24 to stop it.
Oh, that's why I thought that it was 33, or I thought it was 30 actually, but I didn't know that you had to go to 24 to stop it. Too many rules.
Yeah, whistles.
I think
they're counting
players.
There's a flag.
And he's picking the flag up because maybe he didn't count right the first time. Or maybe he did.
No, he's going to step off the penalty.
Yep.
Can't leave that flag there. A 5-yard penalty out to the 48, so it'll be 1st and 5.
13 or 12 guys on the field.
Apparently, yeah. Well, nothing there for Ocean City. A loss of a couple. Pleasantville ready for that play. Saluda. Ball's at the 45-yard line. The Martin family was up here at halftime. We mentioned Austin Martin, second only to Kevin Sinclair in most statistics. Here's a run by Moyer, and he's across the 50 to the 49-yard line, short of the first down.
I think he just lost his footing there at the end. He would have been able to pick up that first down there. I think he just kind of, I don't know, tripped. I didn't see anybody trip him up. He just trying to gain that extra yards.
Joe Myers, Trip Snyder, regular viewers of our live streams this year, and many other alumni. Al Gens is usually watching. Here goes a handoff to Saluda, and he's got the first down the sideline and bumped out of bounds at about the 35-yard line.
You know, Tom, Joe Myers, there's another athlete like David Miller that I mentioned earlier. He could do everything. He punted, he returned punts. I don't think he returned kickoffs, but, you know, quarterback, defensive back.
Started as a safety as a freshman.
Just a great athlete. Great athlete.
Played wide receiver and quarterback. Now, of course, in the same play. There's a 10-yard penalty against Ocean City. It's going to put him back on the 42-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 11. He was also a pretty good pitcher and a very good basketball player. So certainly that's why he's in the Ocean City High School Sports Hall of Fame. Moyer. And he's knocked off his feet by Miller. They're both going about full speed. One of them went to the ground. 4th down, 4th and about 8.
Yeah, a lot of good athletes. Of course, every generation or every year has their good athletes, and you know that you remember, or that you coached, or that you played with. And those are some of the best. Tripp Schneider was a heck of a football player as well. But people in the present, obviously, they remember the present day athletes, and that's as well it should be. It's their family's day today, and they're all going to enjoy Thanksgiving here in Ocean. It's not everybody's used to being in there when they're supposed to be.
Miller awaiting the punt. High punt, spiraling punt. I'm sorry, it's not Miller. Taken back there by Gunter. He was came off injured earlier, and he stopped in his tracks back around the 10-yard line. We're down to a minute and a half left in this 99th meeting between Ocean City and Pleasantville. And as we said, next year, of course, will be number 100. At least we hope so. Ocean City now leads the series, counting this win 52-41. Bill Shotcross remembers back when it was tie, back in I guess it was 90-something, and it looked like the series was going to end. Pleasantville was not going to play varsity football the following year, and they didn't do it for about 4 or 5 years. Ocean City played Middle Township, but going into that last game back in the 90s, the series was tied, and Ocean City won what we thought might be the final game. But here we are, 20-some, I guess 30-some years later. And Ocean City's got a comfortable lead. Here's a full house backfield and running room up the middle out to about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they might get 1 or 2 more plays off here, and that'll be it.
I don't think they'll get that many. That was Khalil Shepperson, 5'10", 217-pound sophomore. Clock's down the inside 20 seconds.
Somebody took a timeout.
Pleasantville called timeout, I think. They'd like to run another play. 2nd down and less than a yard to go. Shore True Value Hardware in Summers Point hopes that you'll continue to shop locally. They offer friendly service and expert advice. At Shore Hardware, they'll do anything to help. They're open weekdays until 7, Saturdays until 6, and Sundays until 4. Help is just around the corner. Shore True Value Hardware, 515 New Road in Summers Point. Phone 609-927-6464 or visit them online at shorehardware.com.
Tom Aiden, Leipold, and Jack Reardon, a couple more sophomores in the lineup for this final play.
Miller throws long down there, and it's caught at the 45-yard line. It's a foot race, and he's going to score. The last play of the game, Pleasantville scores, and they've got something to celebrate.
Yeah, again, I mean, 6'2" against probably 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", and Miller puts the ball up in the air where only his guy's going to be able to catch it. And that's 2 nice catches of those high passes for Witherspoon.
This one for a touchdown. The other one he took down to the 3. They don't go for the extra point in a situation like this because the clock has run out and the game's not on the line. So It's fortunate that the kicker doesn't need to kick to tie a record. So it's 34-14. Clock ran out during the play as Ocean City and Pleasantville line up to shake hands.
Yeah, and another successful Thanksgiving Day game for the Raiders, and you know, the Pleasantville kids have a couple things a couple touchdowns to celebrate, which isn't a bad thing, certainly. The score's obviously not in doubt, and you know, if it was meaningful from an Ocean City side, you know, they'd have put starters back in maybe, and which is not advisable in that situation anyway. And you get a lot of kids in the game here in that fourth quarter that haven't had a chance to play, and they'll be out here as starters, probably many of them in the next couple of years. And you know, a successful win today concludes a very, very successful season for Ocean City.
In the third quarter, Millville leads 45-0 over Vineland, and Woodrow Wilson has an 8-6 lead over Camden. Salem and Woodstown, both the playoff teams, are tied 14-14 at the half, and Holy Spirit 36, Atlantic City nothing is still the latest score we had. That was late in the third quarter. So Ocean City wins it here by a score of 34-14. Two touchdown passes by Pleasantville. Keep in mind, Ocean City went into the game last week not allowing a single score in the air. Millville scored a couple last week, and Pleasantville scored a couple this week. But still, a great season for Ocean City. Today, 93-yard kickoff return by John Moyer. 2 touchdown runs by Sean Mazzatelli and Riley Gunnels with a couple of touchdown passes, one to Casaboon, one to Gray. Ocean City wins it 34-14 over Pleasantville on this Thanksgiving Day. And you know, it was quite a season. Still some 2 Cape Atlantic teams will play next weekend. Millville will play Winslow in Group 4, and Cedar Creek will play Woodrow Wilson in Group 3, both at Rutgers next weekend, and that's exciting. And I mean, you had JoJo Bermudez setting every pass receiving record there is for a Cape Atlantic League player, including one that Jake Schneider held, and you had the fine quarterback Nate Robbins at Millville throwing for over 400 yards in one game. And, of course, right here, Brendan McGonigal setting all kinds of kicking records. It was a season in the Cape Atlantic League with a lot of great performances and great and good teams. I mean, the Cape Atlantic teams are ranked now 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now in South Jersey. So it was a great football season, and it's not over yet.
Yeah, Tom, and oh boy, you know, I look at Cedar Creek. They've had some great athletes there, and is it Bo Melton's going to finish his career this Saturday at Rutgers, and they've just really, not only have they had great athletes, but they've had great teams and excellent coaching, and for a school that's not that many years in the, you know, it's still in its infancy, existence. Thank you. But it's just really, they've done a great job out there program-wise.
We got a final that Holy Spirit won that game 49-8 over Atlantic City. So Holy Spirit's a winner on Thanksgiving. This was, by the way, only the second time in 23 years that both Atlantic City and Holy Spirit went into that game with losing records. Spartans finished 5-6 and with a really tough schedule. Anyway, and it started right here at Carey Stadium when they played DeMatha from Maryland in the battle at the beach. Anyway, Holy Spirit wins. Millville's on its way in the second half, 45-0 at halftime, and Ocean City wins here comfortably as well. So, but everybody will celebrate Thanksgiving. There's a lot to celebrate for Atlantic City and Vineland and Pleasantville, and I'm sure that these young players at Pleasantville who have some talent, if they stay together, they're going to win some football games.
Yeah, I agree, Tom. And you know, again, one team goes home happier. They're a little more Thanksgiving Day turkey is a little bit more enjoyable for them, but in the overall scheme of things, and I'm a firm believer in this, but in the overall scheme of things, no matter how bad we have it here in this country, we got it way better than people who are suffering in Haiti or some of these other places around the world. I know it sounds kind of trite today, but losing a football game isn't the worst thing that can happen to you, although you're going to not be happy about it today. Just there's a lot of things you can be thankful for, and it's just being here in this country is one of them.
For Ocean City, they lose a lot of seniors, a lot of talented athletes who will graduate and move on. Maybe some play at the next level, and yet they have some good young people ready to fill in down the road. Things will be a little tougher on the schedule next year, but it should be exciting and competitive. And as we said, 3 weeks, basketball season is going to get started. As the Ocean City Band marches below us, we thank everybody for all of their hospitality. Jeff Haynes, also Devin Scioli and his crew here who take care of Carey Stadium. Of course, Bill Shawcross, who makes it all happen from upstairs, and Dean Mikowski, who was our scoreboard director today. And for Bud Rink, it's Tom Williams. The final score again from Carey Stadium: Ocean City 34, Pleasantville 14. And don't forget, check out those 2 games at Rutgers next week. Cedar Creek plays on Saturday and Millville plays on Sunday, and we'll be back with some basketball down the road. Thanks for joining us on Thanksgiving Day, and have a wonderful holiday weekend.